All right, I don't know that we need official action to move forward with this, but I think Mr. Kennedy would feel some sense of comfort if council were to pass a motion supporting the purchase of this property, if someone would like to make such a motion.
I'll make the motion to provide official council support to move forward with the purchase of the Ross properties as described by Mr. Kennedy in his presentation.
Second.
Any comments, Mrs. Sattel?
Wasn't that already done in ordinance 2019-45?
We did authorize the purchase, I just said that.
Why would we be doing that when we already authorized it?
Because we have a motion pending, and so we're going to do that so that we can show that after having the public input and after looking at all of the things that we've looked at over the last 76 days, that we would still like to go forward with this project.
But we really haven't finished our public hearing because we just stated that we would pay it more. I just don't, I mean, I don't know that we have to do anything more because we've already done this. We've already passed this and we've already approved the...
I can address why I made the motion, if you'd like. Yes, I made the motion because in late May, this council made a decision to put forward a contingent offer on a property. We chartered Dave Kennedy with doing the due diligence to do the research on the feasibility of the property, provide that input to us. We asked him from May 29th through this meeting to provide bi-weekly updates at every council meeting. So here we are after having numerous public updates and numerous feasibility studies and hearing from the public on the feasibility of the project and the interest in the project. I believe it's in this council's interest to advise Mr. Kennedy that we support the moving forward with the purchase of the property. Whether it was previously authorized or not, a lot has happened since then in terms of information and public input. So I believe that the motion is appropriate.
Any other comments? Mr. Phelps?
That prior ordinance was subject to our doing what's been called the due diligence, which is nothing more than really getting a feasibility study. I mean, we would not want to go through with this purchase if it turned out there was toxic substances in the soil that would prevent any kind of development, or if the ground was such that it couldn't handle what we're thinking about doing here. And so we've done the due diligence, the feasibility study has come in, and it supports this project. And indeed, I think I've not heard anybody else come forward and say you should put another Dollar General store on that property, or build a skyscraper or anything like that. This is meeting what I think has been a very strong urging of this council and this city to get something done to alleviate the parking problems, to create more parking. I don't see a downside to this.
Mr. Blair?
And to the point Mr. Rory made earlier, from the time this thing was first brought to council, we determined and agreed that this will be a step-by-step process. There's a lot of moving parts on this. We're just past the first step-by-step. There's going to be more step-by-steps as we go forward with this. And there's going to be a lot of more opportunity for the community to have input and comment and express their concerns and their support. But from the very beginning, the intent was to make this as open a process as we possibly could, and we've done it.
Vice Mayor?
Just to be really clear from my perspective and for you and anybody watching, my vote on this motion, which will be a yes, is to show my continued commitment to the parking and traffic problem and resolution of those in this downtown area.
Mrs. Sattel?
It's not that I don't agree that we need to do something about parking and traffic. That's not my concern here. My concern is we have not worked out all the details of the findings of this. That's my concern. We don't know how much the bond's going to be. We don't know how long it's going to be. We don't know if we're going to charge for parking. There's just all these pieces to me who, being an accountant, being a finance person, that is a concern to me. And we've already said that we've authorized the agreement to purchase, so we've already done that. Now we've got all this other part about making sure that it's economically and financially able to do this, okay? We haven't run any numbers, really, to know. We have an idea of $6 or $7 million. We don't know how we're gonna, what kind of bond it's gonna be, how long it's gonna be. We have all these moving parts. So I don't think we're at a point to say to do another motion because we still have all these pieces. And since we've already authorized it, I don't know that we need to do that to say that we're for it. I mean, everybody's for it. So why do we have to do another thing when we have the biggest piece missing, and that's the financing of it, and that's the payment of it, and how much it's going to cost us?
Ms. Prince, call the roll, please.
President Weisgerber.
Yes.
Mayor Bailey.
Yes?
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Mr. Butler.
Yes.
Mr. Murray.
Yes.
Mr. Phelps.
Yes.
Mrs. Howe.
I think it's premature and unnecessary.
Is that a yes, no, or abstain?
It's definitely not voting.
You're abstaining?
Can you say what you're doing, please?
Well, I'm not voting.
Are you abstaining?
Yes, no?
Well, if I abstain, it's a yes. I'm just saying.
Mrs. Sattel, we have a motion pending. You have three choices.
Then I refuse myself.
On what basis?
Because I don't think we have fully looked into the finances. And
Mr. Braun, is that an appropriate use of a recusal?
There's an election coming up.
No, but I'm looking at council rules regarding whether you have to vote if you're present. So I need a second to look at it.
Just to be clear, is that a refusal to vote, or is it you're not?
Said recuse.
Recuse. I don't think that's an
I don't.
you don't really have to vote.
The rules state you have to state your reason for recusing yourself.
So what is your reason for recusing?
I said my reason that I feel it's premature because we have not figured out how we're going to pay for this.
And is that an appropriate reason to recuse?
Council Rule 15 reads, "Every member present shall vote when called upon on all questions unless said member abstains or recuses him or herself. A member who abstains or recuses him or herself must state the reason for doing so prior to the question being called. An abstention vote shall be counted with the majority, and a recusal vote shall not be included with the vote total. The clerk shall call the roll." So there we go. It does not define what is an appropriate recusal. It just says you have to state your reason.
So the vote is 6-0?
Would be 6-0.
Okay. Is that everyone, Ms. Prince? Okay.
Now we're cooking with gas. Can't we